At first glance, the narrative seems simple. A producer extended an invitation. Jungkook said no. But as with most decisions in the entertainment industry, the implications are layered. Why would Jungkook reject a collaboration that, on paper, could have added another feather to his already illustrious cap? Why would a producer feel compelled to share that rejection publicly? And more importantly, what does this mean for Jungkook's trajectory as an artist standing at the center of global pop culture? The music industry often relies on perception. Accepting or declining a collaboration can signal alignment with certain values, musical directions, or career goals. By turning down a proposal, Jungkook may have communicated something far larger than the refusal itself. For an artist at his level, every move is scrutinized. Fans and industry insiders alike dissect his choices, seeing them not just as professional decisions, but as statements about his identity, vision, and integrity. The producer's revelation, though initially framed as disappointment, has sparked widespread discussion about Jungkook's agency in shaping his own career. Unlike many artists who are guided primarily by their management or pressured by industry trends, Jungkook appears to be exercising a rare level of autonomy. That autonomy is especially remarkable given that BTS operates within the Korean entertainment system, known for its rigorous structures. His ability to say no, even to established names, underscores his growing influence. Another dimension of this situation lies in cultural expectations. For years, K-pop idols were seen as figures who rarely turned down opportunities, especially when it involved collaborations with foreign producers or artists. Accepting such offers was often viewed as a sign of expansion, proof that K-pop could compete on the global stage. Yet Jungkook's rejection challenges that narrative. It suggests that he no longer needs external validation. He is not chasing global recognition, he already possesses it. Instead, his choices reflect a new phase where selectivity is more powerful than acceptance. This rejection also highlights the emotional weight of being an artist constantly in demand. Behind the glamour of international fame lies an exhausting reality. Jungkook is likely flooded with offers, each promising exposure, financial gain, or artistic credibility. But to accept everything would mean diluting his identity. By turning down certain opportunities, he protects his artistry and ensures that his brand remains cohesive and true to his vision. In this sense, rejection becomes not an act of dismissal, but an act of self-preservation. The public reaction has been telling. Fans were initially shocked, especially since Jungkook is known for his humble and collaborative nature. However, many quickly interpreted the rejection as a sign of strength. Social media conversations shifted from disbelief to admiration, with fans praising his ability to set boundaries in an industry that often demands relentless compliance. For them, his refusal was not arrogance but maturity. It showed that he values quality over quantity, authenticity over superficial partnerships. The producer's feelings, meanwhile, also deserve examination. It is unusual for an industry professional to publicly share a rejection, as such matters are typically handled discreetly. The decision to reveal it suggests not only disappointment, but also recognition of Jungkook's extraordinary position in the industry. To be rejected by him is not a mere setback. It is a statement that reverberates beyond one individual. It reinforces Jungkook's image as someone who is no longer just another artist seeking collaborations, but someone whose decisions define the rhythm of global pop. This incident also shines a light on the shifting dynamics between Western producers and K-pop idols. In the past, K-pop artists were often eager to work with Western counterparts, seeing it as a pathway to international markets. But now the tables are turning. Jungkook, with his solo success and global fandom, commands an audience that even established producers desire to tap into. This reversal of power underscores how much the landscape has changed. The fact that a foreign producer publicly shared his rejection almost reads as acknowledgement. Jungkook is no longer knocking on doors, others are lining up at his. Beyond industry implications, the story carries emotional weight because it humanizes Jungkook. Fans are reminded that behind the superstar persona is an individual making difficult choices. Saying no is not easy, especially in a world where opportunities are framed as once in a lifetime. Yet Jungkook's decision reflects courage. It shows he is willing to prioritize long-term vision over short-term gain. Even at the risk of disappointing powerful figures, this moment may, in hindsight, become a turning point. Just as his solo releases marked the beginning of Jungkook as an independent force, this rejection may symbolize the dawn of a new era where he redefines what it means to be a global pop star. Rather than being shaped by external offers, he shapes his own path. Rather than relying on collaborations to validate his status, he chooses them carefully, ensuring they align with his artistry. The headline may scream rejection, but the deeper truth is one of affirmation. Jungkook's choice affirms his independence, his confidence, and his awareness of his influence. It affirms that he is not just participating in the global music industry, but actively steering its direction. For fans, industry insiders, and even the producer who shared his disappointment, this incident is a reminder that Jungkook is not merely a star to be pursued, he is an artist whose voice, both musical and personal, carries undeniable power. It is worth noting that in recent years, Jungkook has been selective in his collaborations. When he chooses to work with someone, the results tend to be impactful. His joint projects with artists like Latto, Charlie Puth, and Jack Harlow generated immense buzz, topping charts and expanding his audience reach. But even within these collaborations, observers noticed a pattern. Jungkook never fades into the background. His voice, performance, and persona remain central. He does not collaborate merely to borrow fame. He collaborates to create synergy. This makes his rejection of another producer even more telling. Perhaps the offer did not promise synergy, but rather an imbalance that could dilute his artistry. Another dimension to consider is the cultural pride embedded in Jungkook's decision. K-pop, once dismissed as niche, has become one of the most powerful cultural exports of South Korea. BTS and Jungkook in particular are symbols of this global success. By rejecting a foreign producer, Jungkook challenges the old narrative where non-Western artists had to accept Western validation to prove their worth. Instead, he asserts that his artistry does not require external approval. He positions himself as an equal, not a subordinate. This stance carries emotional resonance for fans who have long watched Asian artists struggle for recognition in a Western-dominated industry. The rejection also opens the door to speculation about the producer's identity. While the revelation made headlines, it was deliberately vague, which added fuel to online debates. Was it a Grammy-winning producer known for chart-topping hits? Was it someone with a history of shaping pop stars into global icons? Or was it a lesser-known figure hoping to gain recognition through association with Jungkook? In truth, the identity matters less than the principle. No matter the producer's stature, Jungkook had the confidence to say no. That confidence alone is transformative. From the perspective of fans, the incident highlights the emotional stakes of being a supporter of someone like Jungkook. For many, he represents not only talent, but also resilience and independence. His decision to reject an offer that did not align with his vision resonates with fans who see him as more than an idol. They see him as someone carving a path on his own terms. Online discussions reflected this shift, with fans praising his boundaries and expressing relief that he is not pressured into accepting every opportunity. To them, his refusal felt like an act of self-care, a reminder that he is prioritizing quality over constant exposure. Industry insiders, however, view the rejection from another angle. For them, the refusal is a signal of power dynamics shifting in favor of artists. Historically, producers held significant authority in shaping an artist's career. They controlled access to resources, networks, and opportunities. But today, stars like Jungkook bring with them massive fan bases, unparalleled reach, and cultural influence. In this equation, producers are the ones seeking access, not the other way around. This inversion of power is central to understanding why Jungkook's no resonates so strongly. It also underscores the emotional cost of constant demand. For Jungkook, every decision is public. Every move is dissected, and every opportunity is amplified. Saying no might invite criticism, but it is also a declaration of his humanity. No artist can say yes to everything without burning out or losing authenticity. By rejecting certain offers, Jungkook preserves his ability to remain genuine, both in his artistry and in his relationship with fans. Another interesting angle is how this rejection fits into the timeline of Jungkook's career. Having completed several solo projects and military service commitments, with BTS looming in the background, Jungkook is at a crossroads. His next moves will define the post-BTS era of his career. In this context, his rejection of a foreign producer can be read as a conscious choice to maintain control. He is not rushing into collaborations to prove himself. He is carefully constructing a foundation for longevity. The foreign producer's perspective, though tinged with disappointment, also highlights Jungkook's impact. To be publicly rejected by him is not a slight, it is proof of his stature. Few artists command that level of influence, where even their refusals become newsworthy. In a way, the producer's revelation unintentionally elevated Jungkook's profile further, confirming that his decisions carry weight in global conversations. Emotionally, fans and observers find themselves caught between admiration and curiosity. Admiration for Jungkook's independence, but curiosity about what could have been. What kind of song might have emerged from the collaboration? Would it have been a chart-topping anthem, a genre-bending experiment, or a track that pushed Jungkook into new creative territory? These unanswered questions add intrigue, leaving the rejection not as an ending but as the beginning of speculation. Perhaps the most striking aspect of this episode is how it illustrates the maturity of Jungkook's artistic identity. In his early years, he was often described as the golden maknae, someone skilled at everything but still finding his unique voice. Today, he is no longer just versatile, he is intentional. His decisions reflect a clear sense of self. Whether he accepts or rejects an offer, the reasoning is grounded in his long-term vision, not external pressure. That intentionality is what sets him apart from many of his peers. In conclusion, the news of Jungkook rejecting a foreign producer is not merely gossip. It is a story about power, identity, and independence. It is about an artist who, at the height of global fame, chooses to protect his vision rather than chase every opportunity. It is about the shifting balance in an industry where artists from outside the West now hold the keys to influence. Most of all, it is about the courage to say no in a world that often equates success with endless yeses. And as the conversation continues, one thing becomes clear. This rejection is not the end of a collaboration, but the beginning of a new narrative about what it means to be Jungkook in today's music industry.